City News on TV Rotorua is proudly brought to you by Rotorua Central.
Kia ora, ahead in tonight's bulletin. Council look for community input into the review of representation agreements. The Farmers Tree of Remembrance campaign raises $16,000 for local hospice, and the Vodafone Warriors will be on show at tomorrow's night market. Rotorua Lakes Council is on the lookout for 3 people interested in representing the wider community on a working party to review council representation arrangements. The review is a requirement of the Local Electoral Act and has to be undertaken by all councils every 6 years. This year's review will look at matters such as the number of councillors to be elected, whether or not there should be community boards, and whether councillors should be elected by wards at large or by a combination of both. The working party, to be chaired by Councillor Meripekarokawa Tate, will comprise 6 members in total, including sitting councillors Tanya Tapsell and Charles Sturt, and 3 independent community members. Anyone interested in being considered for a place on the Representation Review Working Party can submit an expression of interest by sending the Council a single typed page setting out their experience and relevant background and outlining why they believe they would be suitable for the Working Party. Expressions of interest closed on the 4th of March. For more information, contact the Council. Farmers Rotorua have presented hospice with $16,000 raised from the Remembrance campaign held over Christmas. Hospice Sponsorship Manager Jan Morgan says she's humbled by the support of Farmers staff and grateful to the customers who donated.
Oh, we're absolutely delighted, as you can imagine, and we're just loving this guy, and we love farmers and we love customers and we love everybody in the store, especially all those operators behind the counter who actually did the ask, because that's big.
Rotorua Farmers Manager John Porteous says it's a great result for the first year of the relationship with hospice.
Yeah, it's just a natural correlation. We believe that as a company that the hospice has the same values that Farmers has, and that it's a recognisable face in the society that everyone sort of has come across and have experienced hospice's help. So it's just a natural partnership that we want to enter into, yeah.
So that $16,000 was raised from your Rotorua store alone?
Yes, it was.
Thank you, Rotorua. That's very, very generous, isn't it?
It is. And I think as a company we raised about $660,000.
And the Opportunity Company set off the year with a stylish performance of songs from the big band era. The show featured Elizabeth Harris and showcased the music of Glenn Miller and Henry Mancini.
So what would you hope that people who come to the Opportunity here in Rotorua this time round, what do you hope they take away?
I hope they have a great time and take away a fresh love of the wonderful music that we're playing. And I mean, as Mike has already said, we've got a fantastic team of musicians, and the great arrangements as well that Mike has done are really quite special. So yeah, I think we're offering a fresh take on some great classics. So, and it seems to have gone down really well so far.
In sport tonight, the Vodafone Warriors will make a special guest appearance tomorrow at the night market. The team are here for a NRL trial against the Penrith Panthers. While in town, the boys will visit local schools as part of a festival of rugby league. Saturday's game kicks off at the International Stadium at 3 p.m. Meanwhile, Events and Venue Stadium manager says the venue is ready for the Warriors trial, with locals fully backing the festival of rugby league.
Yes, we've marketed it as a rugby league festival. It's just neat to recognise particularly the local contribution to rugby league, and hopefully that'll be a big part of the whole festival atmosphere on the day.
Absolutely. So with the advanced party promotions, what's the process?
Okay, so Warriors are sending down a crew a Wednesday evening before the main event on Saturday, so good couple of days to get in amongst the community. Particularly they're visiting 12 schools, which is neat, over the 2 days. They're going to spend some time at the night market on Thursday evening. Both teams will be there, Penrith and the Warriors, so great opportunity to meet the players, get photos with them and buy tickets, which will be available.
To your weather. Tonight will be fine with southeasterlies and an overnight low of 10. Tomorrow, Thursday, mainly fine with a chance of showers later, light winds, a high of 22 and a low of 10. And the outlook for Friday, mainly fine with the chance of shower later, light winds, a high of 24 and a low of 12. And the marine forecast for Lake Rotorua, southeast 10 knots easing to variable 5 knots in the evening, with waves less than half a metre and cloudy periods. Still to come in tonight's show, we catch up at Age Concern with care worker Hilary Turler. We're at Rotorua Florist to check out what's hot this Valentine's Day, and we have highlights from the weekend's Waitangi celebrations at Whakarewarewa and the Youth Centre.
Kia ora and welcome back to City News. I'm with Hilary Turler now. Now she is at Age Concern on Edward Street, and there is some concern at the moment, and particularly with the elderly being scammed and disappointingly by members of their own family. We want to try and discourage that from happening, and if we can, learn more about it and what we can do so that we can be of a support. It's not the only thing that's been happening. There's a few different things that you're involved with in the community. Can you give us, first of all, a bit of a background of how summer was?
Actually, for me, summer was, we closed on the 19th of December and we reopened on the 20th of January, and I walked straight into a new case. Elder abuse of a older gentleman whose care worker lives with him and is doing the damage. So, you know, if he has given consent for this person to live in the home, not much we can do about it. But when things get tough, he cries wolf, and then when we investigate, we sort things out, and he goes back to it. So quite a few of the cases, they just don't want to report anything or let us know the depth of the problems because they're ashamed it's a family member. That is mostly what I deal with, the elder abuse and neglect. But also to our Joanne on the other side, who kindly put this up for us. She deals with elderly people who are being neglected. Now, whilst I go out and I see people in their own homes, Joanne picks up the, baton and interviews the lady or gentleman, finds a good support worker, and it's a fully police vetted support worker that goes in there, well, a volunteer. So she deals more with the neglect part. I would take a case to it. But for me, the financial abuse is horrendous, psychological abuse is horrendous, and also sometimes on the odd occasion I come up against a case where there's some physical abuse. And, we sometimes sort a small problem out and go home, and there's not much sort of surrounding that lady or gentleman. So it's a case of what can we do, how best can we work with this person.
Well, it's very positive to hear that you've identified some areas where you could tweak a few things and it could make a difference. And simple things too, like public awareness. On the bus, there should be a sign on the bus that says, stand up if somebody's got grey hair and you're sitting down in a seat. And little things like that, I think there definitely needs to be a little bit more work in society and how we treat our elderly.
I really agree with that, because, you know, when we were growing up, that is how we were taught. Now, if you are on a good example, I went to the blood bank quite a while back, and the room was very full, and there were a couple of gentlemen in the room, and an elderly lady with a walker walked in, and nobody but myself stood up for her. No.
Oh, no.
So that is a kind of, you know, thing that we should be looking at.
Yes, absolutely. And so anybody that can volunteer, that can donate, that can support the work of Age Concern, please do. It's on Rotorua Street. I'm sure that you would be happy of support.
Yeah, yes, we would. We
Absolutely.
love that support.
And also too, we are a community channel, and we do like to try and address issues that affect the community, and I don't want to have to keep reporting on elderly people being abused. It would be very nice to think that we could start reporting on some nice stories.
There are sometimes...
Well, let's finish with one,
Yeah.
shall we?
There are some good success stories. We had an auntie lady staying over in Linmore. Her son and her did not quite have the right relationship, and there was kind of heated arguments always. Went to visit her, put together some strategies. She decided to actually go over to her son's house and sit down and, you know, meet with him and his partner instead of my client and his son, my client and her daughter-in-law, to get them together. I'm pleased to say they had a really nice Christmas. There's still work to be done, but yeah, it's a step forward.
Wonderful. Well, we love hearing about steps forward.
Yes.
Thank you very much for your time, Hilary, and also your dedication to the elderly in the community.
Thank you.
Kia ora. Everyone that is in love will know what February the 14th is. Valentine's Day is coming up shortly, and we're at Rotorua Florist with a much beloved Rotorua florist, Pam Jenkins, who's been in the business for so many years. We are here to find out what the secrets are for this Valentine's Day and how we can get those hearts a-fluttering.
The secrets, well, I think the secret is to send somebody you love a red rose.
A red rose. Now that's the classic, isn't
That
it?
is definitely the classic.
Do you know where that tradition came from, the red rose, or perhaps how long it's been around? It's as long as I can remember.
Yeah, as long as I can remember too. And I mean, it's not just New Zealand, it's international as well. So it's a symbol of love that has been around for many, many years.
And very much appreciated if anyone wants to send Kitty one. Or Pam, we've had this little talk
Yes,
beforehand.
yes.
We're both happy
We'd all love a red rose.
Absolutely. Every woman does. And of course it's not just the woman. Men like a little something too.
A guy would definitely love a red rose. But of course with the red rose you can add a balloon or chocolates or wine.
Or all of those?
Or all of the above. And even for the guys, we don't mind popping out and getting in some Steinlager or his tipple of choice
Nice.
to go with it.
Well, Valentine's Day is often one where ladies get spoilt, but how can we spoil men?
Oh, for the men, we've got helium balloons that say I love you or Happy Valentine's Day. We've got a beautiful range of chocolates, and we don't mind popping out and getting half a dozen, a six-pack for them just to make their day.
A little bit of something special, maybe their favourite little bit of liquor in there or something
Yes,
like that.
Something like that would be lovely. Or for the guys, don't forget that you can send champagne with your roses. That's lovely. And chocolates. And don't forget, if you do that, you can share it.
Of course, and there's nothing more loving than sharing, is there? So
that's for sure.
Every woman now and every man has a really good excuse to get a big box of chocolates.
A large box of chocolates.
So what have the trends been over the years that you've seen? I mean, how has Valentine's Day changed?
It hasn't really. It's always been a Red Rose Day. And sometimes we do try to bring another trend in, like sunflowers or gerbras, but you generally find that people still go back to the red rose because it is traditional. It really is a symbol of love.
And there's soft toys I can see here as well. There are there's crafts and handmade things here too.
Yes.
So it's a bit of you can use some imagination here, can't you?
Sure you can, and we've actually done quite a few things up for you so that you can just pop in and pick something up and take it with you. And don't forget that if you want to give your loved one a really good surprise for Valentine's Day, she may think you've forgotten, pop in on Friday and take something home and then give it to her first thing on Saturday morning, because if she's at home for the weekend you won't be able to have it delivered to work.
See, so a bit of pre-planning won't go amiss.
No.
And what would you recommend for a mummy like me who might not have a man that I'd like to buy for, but I want to get something for my children? I'd like to get a little Valentine's something for each of my 3 children.
I would say one of the lovely little soft toys that we've got. They are so cute.
And I know that my son will say, and some chocolates, please, mummy.
Oh, okay, and chocolates.
So just finally, anybody that's wanting to come in and have a look, whereabouts are you?
We're in Rotorua Street, opposite Cotton On. We've been here 42 years, so we shouldn't be hard to find.
42 years. Have you been here that whole time?
Yes, I have.
Okay,
yes.
well, we're going to start talking about that now, because Valentine's Day is special, but I think this is pretty special too. What got you into flowers? When did that start?
I started in a floristry shop in Auckland at 16, and I've been doing it ever since.
And you've never changed?
No, never wanted to do anything else.
Lovely.
Yeah.
So obviously you must have a real love for nature and flowers and just everything beautiful in the world.
And I love the people that go with it as well, and that's a very, very big part of your business.
Well, because you're in a happy business, aren't you? You're in the business of sharing some love and sharing some kindness. I mean, there are times where people would buy sad bunches of flowers too, but then you can offer something emotionally.
We're in an emotive type of business, so I think you have to be a very special sort of person to be able to handle customers like that on a daily basis.
So do you bring up other young florists now? Because you're in the mentor position now, aren't you?
I think I'm almost past the mentor position. But yes, I do. I always like to have young ones in the workroom coming through. And a lot of them have gone on to do extremely well and own their own businesses and travel overseas.
So no regrets, 40 years plus as a florist, and a very beautiful smile to go with it.
Thank you. Absolutely no regrets. I'd do it all over again.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Pam.
No, thank you.
So make sure you come along, Rotorua Florist on Rotorua Street. Pam, with her years of experience and great big heart, will be able to help you share love with your loved ones this year.
Kia ora whanau, welcome to today's event, the Waitangi Festival for the Rotorua Youth Centre. Yesterday we celebrated 175 years of the treaty being signed here in our beautiful country. So welcome, we've got lots of events on today, lots of prizes, lots of live music, bands, singers, and we've also got
If this is love, then give me love. And this is love, then give me love. If this is love, then that love isn't fading. Turn out the nightlight, 'cause I'm not scared anymore. Look at me, I'm growing up. I didn't get to see all of these things that I wish I could show you. Hello world, this is me. I've got a lot to tell you. I'm growing up, I've learned how to earn my money. I've learned to love, I wanna feel.
Highlights there from the weekend's Waitangi celebrations shot by cameraman Graham Jones. For more information or to contact the show, email news@tv-rotorua.co.nz or phone 07 3488 984. Thanks for watching tonight. From all the team here at City News, Pumaria.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.
City News on TV Rotorua was proudly brought to you by Rotorua Central.